Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Faza. I'm student of Persada Indonesia YAI University. In this presentation, we will discuss about psychology. First topic is psychology at a glance. And I want to describe about psychology at a glance. Next topic is being shy. And the last topic is childhood depression. Before we start this presentation, I would like say thank you to Mr. Budiantoro as English lecturer. First, I want to describe about reading lesson 1, Psychology at a glance. Psychology studies the activities of individual. The science of human behavior is actually a group of science. Psychology studies the individual's activities throughout his span of life, from the beginning before birth up through the end of life. Psychology can be defined as the science of the individual's activities. The word activity is used here in a broad sense. It includes not only motor activities like walking and speaking, but also cognitive. I have 3 questions about psychology. First question is, give examples of motor, cognitive, and emotional activities. And the answer is motoric is walking, running, and writing. Emotional is sad, angry, happy, and edge. Cognitive, thinking, remembering, and studying. And the next question is, why do we study human behavior? Because we are social character, so we can live alone. Because of that, by studying human behavior, we can understanding each other. And the third question is, what causes the difference between individuals? There are range, heredity, social economic status, gender, and maturity. Secondly, I want to talk about on being shy. What is meant by shyness? Shyness is also often referred to as a state in a person where the person really cares about other people's judgment of him and feels anxious because of this social judgment, so he tends to withdraw. We can help ourselves be rid of shyness. Nobody is perfect and everybody has good qualities. Is it fair to pay attention to our imperfection and overlook our good qualities? The following suggestion may be helpful in reducing shyness. First, understand that you cannot eliminate shyness overnight. It is a slow process that you must work in gradually. 2. Think about situation when being shy is most painful. Perhaps your biggest problem is making small talk with a stranger at a party. In that case, prepare yourself with someone interesting, current news to talk about. The weather is a topic often used for starting conversation. 3. Getting the other person to talk about himself or herself. It is a clever idea. Many people enjoy talking about themselves or giving their opinions. For example, can you say something like, I notice you like Madame Jewelry, or your rings are very unusual. Did you design them yourself? This can be the start of a friendship. For whenever you begin making negative comparisons between yourself and others, force yourself to stop doing that immediately. Take your thought of yourself. Observe others and think of compliment with which to start a conversation with someone. 6. Knows that if in effort to socialize sometimes it is unsuccessful. It happens to everyone now and then. Feel proud of yourself for making the effort. 6. If you are required to give a report to a group, tell them that you feel nervous. This feeling is quite natural and everyone can sympathize. Expressing that the group will make you feel better. Next, think about your good qualities and believe that you are as good as anyone else. And the last, take a course in developing self-confidence or read books on the subject. Life is much more enjoyable for people who are not shy. The last topic this presentation is childhood depression. Depression is a mood disorder characterized by feelings of deep sadness and a sense of indifference. Everyone feels sad or down. A person is declared depressed if it has been 2 weeks since feeling sad, hopeless, or worthless. Depression that is allowed to continue and does not get treatment can lead to decreased work productivity, disruption of social relationship, and the desire to commit suicide. Depression of childhood. Occasionally, being sad or feeling hopeless is a part of every child's life. However, some children feel sad or uninterested in things that they used to enjoy, or feel helpless or hopeless in situations they are able to change. When children feel present tense, sadness, and hopelessness, they may be diagnosed with depression. Okay, depression symptoms. They are psychological and physical characteristics that indicate a person is depressed. Psychological characteristics of someone who is experiencing depression are: first, experiencing excessive anxiety and worry; second, emotionally unstable; and the last, feeling hopeless or frustrated. Okay. Examples of behaviors often seen in children with depression include: first, feeling sad, hopeless, or irritable a lot of the time; second, not wanting to do or enjoy doing fun things; next, showing change in eating patterns, eating a lot more or a lot less than usual; and then showing change in sleep patterns, sleeping a lot more or a lot less than normal. Next, showing change in energy, being tired and sluggish or tense and restless a lot of the time. And then having a hard time paying attention. And the last, feeling worthless, useless, or guilty, showing self-injury and self-destructive behavior. So, how to deal with depression in children? First, loving and being patient with children, spending time with children, teach children relaxation technique, and acceptable to children, and the last, take care of yourself. Okay, after these 3 topics, I can conclude that psychology is a science that studies the nature and life of the human soul. In general, psychology is defined as the study of human behavior, or the study of the symptoms of the human soul. Its scope includes a variety of observable behavioral processes such as hand gesture, speech, mental change, and processes that can only be interpreted as thought and dreams. From these various definitions, as a whole, it can be concluded that psychology is the study of science regarding behavioral processes and mental processes. The specific fields within it are very diverse, including experimental psychology, psychological psychology, developmental psychology, social psychology, personality psychology, clinical psychology, and education, school and educational psychology, and industrial and engineering psychology. The psychology is one part of behavioral science or social science. And the second topic, uh, I can conclude that shyness is a person's feeling of being awkward in the public, and the causes of embarrassment include oneself, parents, siblings, other people, and culture. Shyness itself has an impact, namely not reaching fulfillment in social interaction, approaching other people too carefully, being to self-conclusions, and always looking at the negative elements that are thought of in him. And there are ways to overcome the same, such as by eliminating feelings or inferiority, doing something seriously, knowing yourself, and accepting yourself as you are. And the last topic, I can conclude that depression is a disease in which feelings of depression persist and interfere with the functional abilities of the child or adolescent. Depression is often characterized by irritability, boredom, or an inability to feel pleasure rather than sadness. Depression is often a family disease, chronic and recurring. This can range from mild to severe depressive symptoms, or even bipolar disorder. Untreated depression can last from 7 to 9 months, and episodes of depression tend to recur and even go into adult. Effective treatment options for depressive teens include interpersonal psychotherapy, antidepressants, psychosocial interventions, or a combination of non-drug and pharmacological intervention, because untreated depression can lead to negative results in the future. Therefore, early recognition of the disease is important so that appropriate treatment can be applied so as to reduce the burden of global depression. So, this is the end of the presentation, and I want to say thank you very much for your attention and apologize if there is an error in pronouncing the word. Bye.